Hi, I'm Yogi Delia and I created this channel as a part of my own healing journey. I'm a yoga teacher and I volunteered as a peer in a political environment for mental health for 14 years. Now I want to teach yoga as a peer support. Since I was a teenager, I knew something inside of me was broken. I carried a lot of tension, restlessness, and nervous energy that I couldn't seem to calm down. But no matter how long this journey has been, I have always known in my heart the path I wanted to walk. Let me share a little about my past. When I was 12, my parents divorced and we immediately moved in with my mother's new fiancé. From that point on, I lived in a mentally abusive household, enduring emotional harm on a daily basis. At 16, I worked in a shop and read newspapers and magazines where I first learned about negative social inheritance, a big topic in the 90s. It blew my mind to realize that while I was aware of coming from a dysfunctional home, the negative patterns I was destined to carry forward would likely be invisible to me. At that time, I was what people would call a good girl, but I wasn't treated kindly. And eventually I gravitated towards a group of people who were also struggling. They constantly pushed me and my boundaries, and for a while I thought that letting go of my righteousness was a good thing. But as I grew older, I saw that some of my friends were unwilling to take responsibility for their actions. And slowly I gained awareness and began questioning some of my friendships, their level of maturity, and how I could support them in growing. I'd been living on my own since I was 17 and taken on a lot of responsibility. I realized that we were not at the same stage in life. One of the biggest struggles my childhood left me with was the right to be who I am and live life at my own terms. As a young, tall, blonde woman, I often found that people were drawn to an image rather than the person I actually was. I was expected to fit into their version of an ideal, to adapt to their lifestyle, and to please them. When I was in the US the last time, I was put in a situation where people I considered friends tried to strip me of everything in an effort to force me to become what they wanted me to be. When I refused, they punished me and I barely survived. They knew exactly who I was and what I stood for. And that's why their actions were so cruel and deliberate. This experience shattered my trust in the world. I escaped alive, but I was later admitted to psychiatric care at the age of 20. So what is it about me that has made certain people want to destroy me and my life? Why have I been stalked and harassed for 28 years? At my core, I'm simply a person like anyone else, with a body, a mind, emotions, and my own way of perceiving the world. But what sets me apart is that I'm a feminist, I hold strong moral values that I don't compromise on. I see myself as a good friend, a broken person, a loner, that's what my grandmother called me, a reliable person, a multicultural individual, and many other things. Also, I'm introverted. I don't like too much attention. I dislike drama. I always just wanted a nice and quiet life with good friends, focusing on my healing process. When I was younger, I dreamed of living in Amsterdam, a multicultural hub where I could educate and dedicate my life to healing and alternative practices. I knew I couldn't be a good parent given the environment I came from and the negative social inheritance I carried. I didn't want a family either. Throughout my life, people have been angry at me for not choosing a conventional lifestyle. A husband, a house, children. Instead, I've been under attack for simply trying to reach a place where I could relax, focus on my inner healing, and not have to wake up wondering who destroyed my bike overnight and how am I going to make it to work. Whatever happened in the US, I moved on from it after I left. I never had any further interest in those people. I never received an explanation, and whatever started there never actually stopped. Years later, I hired a private investigator who informed me that I was a targeted individual. They told me there was nothing they could do to stop the ongoing harassment. This has cost me many good and supportive relationships. It's creepy, terrifying, and worse than words can describe. I still struggle. I still see a psychiatrist, and I'm not insane. But finally, I'm on the path I dreamed of being on in my mid-20s. And I hope you'll join me on this channel as we make healing our number one priority, a work in progress and a journey worth taking.